Okay, so I'm Lyla Bashan, and all of this are my own personal views. This is my mom, Dana
Hi.
St. Clair, and we are sitting here in beautiful
Kealakekua Bay.
Kealakekua Bay. We stayed down here when my oldest child was born. My parents live here on the big island of Hawaii.
Yes, we do.
And we're here visiting, so I just wanted to take advantage of the opportunity of being here to talk to my mom because she is brilliant and wise and amazing.
Thus, I have a brilliant, wise, and amazing daughter. You'll notice my book is dedicated to my daughter.
Well, my book is dedicated to my
What
mother.
a coincidence! Wow.
So she's so wise and is 70. Will turn 71 next month.
Can you even believe it?
And so one of the questions I wanted to ask is, what advice would you give yourself 35 years ago? Like half your life ago. What advice would you give to yourself half your life ago?
Well, half my life ago, you were about 5 or 6 years old, and that would have made your brother 8 or 9. And we were living in Corvallis or Portland? Portland,
Well, we moved to
Oregon.
Portland when I started first grade, so we had
Exactly.
probably
So we were
just
Portland.
moved to Portland.
And actually, my husband Scott and I got married when I was 35 years old. Oh, there's Scott. Hi. Because we just celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary on the 4th of July. And who else do we know who has a wedding anniversary on the 4th of July?
My husband and I got married on that day too.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a good wedding anniversary day.
And I got to officiate at their amazing wedding south of Puerto Vallarta
In Mexico.
on a big rock.
Yeah. Overlooking the ocean.
Yes, yes. And actually, Scott and I had gotten married on a big rock, really big rock, overlooking the ocean.
And that part we didn't do on purpose. We didn't
do the ocean part.
Yeah, that was
the
just
4th of July part.
Yeah, because you never forget the day. There's always fireworks if you're in the States, and you always have the day off. So that's why we did it.
All of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you work in retail.
And my wedding dress was red.
Red.
Yeah.
I found it for her. It's fabulous, gorgeous dress. And my 35-year-old self, I guess what I would say is hang on for the ride.
What do you mean?
It turns out, not because I've intentionally been unconventional.
You're very unconventional.
It just turns out I am. And it's been an unconventional life. And when I was 21, I came across a series of instruction called The Nature of the Soul. And it's some pretty amazing stuff. And it really...
That's what she studied meditation in, because she's a meditation teacher.
That's where I learned to teach meditation. Mm-hmm. I had already been meditating for a year and a half before I connected with the nature of the soul. But I would say to myself then, if I am receiving this caliber of information and instruction at such a young age, what is the rest of this incarnation going to be like? Woohoo!
You had that reflection in your early 20s that you're like,
yes.
Oh wow. This
will make things interesting. And I've really enjoyed living on planet Earth for 70 years.
But do you think studying something like Nature of the Soul set you on your unconventional path, or do you think you were already on an unconventional path?
Yes to both. I am an only child. I had been a very compliant daughter. My parents were not the least bit abusive, but they were benignly neglectful. And For decades, I have said it was as if, especially emotionally, I grew up in a water heater insulator blanket, like just surrounded by this water heater insulator blanket. And then in the late 90s, Scott and I moved from Portland, Oregon into my childhood bedroom to take care of my parents in their decline. And one day I had this insulator that you would put like a cold bottle of water in. And I'm looking at it and I thought, well, this insulator keeps what's in it as it is. Keeps it colder longer, or for a water heater, hotter longer.
Yeah.
And it was a real revelation to me because I had thought of this water heater insulator blanket as not being a good thing. But what it did was allow me to be who I am, to stay who I am.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh, oh, look, because everything really is perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at your life or your childhood and you go, oh, that was such a drag, it was so terrible, it was. And if you look at your childhood, as my daughter is inclined to, as if it was a pretty good thing, it was. And when you look at your life as it is now with all of the obstacle illusions, you can get all caught up in it.
Obstacle illusions.
Obstacle illusions.
Obstacle. Yeah.
That, yeah.
So you would tell yourself half your life ago to hang on.
For the ride.
For the ride.
Yeah, just, I mean, what choice do we have? We just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And sometimes as we're walking along our path, it can be a pretty rough road to hoe. And it's not twinkle toes. You're not going, oh, I'm loving it. You're going, geez. But you just keep moving. You just keep rolling along. And I'm very, very blessed. I have 2 amazing children. I have a husband whose company I enjoy immensely. And speaking of officiating at your wedding, something that I came up with, thanks to my husband Scott, was it pays to choose to be amused by your partner's shortcomings rather than annoyed by them. Again, perspective. I mean, if you're going, oh, he's just so horrible and he leaves his socks around and all these grumpy. Oh, there was a word I saw one time on a television show. A guy talked about grudgement. And I thought, again, like obstacle illusion, grudgement.
Grudgement.
Is
yeah.
So instead of being full of grudgement, you just kind of go, that's the way they are.
Another
That's
good
how it
one.
happens.
Good piece of advice you gave at our wedding was let love win.
Oh,
that was another
that
like,
one.
It kind of goes with choose to be amused. Like,
Yeah.
just let love win. Focus on the love instead of the annoyances or the shortcomings.
Because they're always there. The annoyances, the shortcomings, the love, the pleasure of each other's company. I mean, here at 70, although I think I had figured this out probably by 50, compatibility. Just being with a compatible human, not compatible. It just makes life swellerific. That's it. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mom.
Oh,
That's some
sweetie.
good advice.
Mwah.
Okay. Well, thanks for
Aloha.
watching.